All right, guys, we are going today to talk about two-way tables. So you should have two worksheets in your hand. They are listed on the board. One is your classwork homework, and the other is your note sheet. Your note sheet will follow along with this presentation. Okay. So obviously, we want to construct and interpret a two-way frequency tables of data when two categories are associated with each object being classified. All right, so some vocabulary today. So this is where your notes will pick up. So joint relative frequency is our first word. It goes in the first blank. Marginal goes in the second, and conditional goes in the third. Okay, these notes will be posted online. So it's really not as important that we get this part, but we've really got to focus up and get ready for the next one. All right, so a two-way table is a useful way to organize data that can help you categorize into two variables. So there's that first blank, two-way table, and then two variables is my second blank. Wow, that was a great line. Suppose you ask 20 people, children and adults, whether they like broccoli. The table shows one way to arrange the table. So we've kind of seen these the last couple of days. So we've got this fancy little table down here. I've got children. 11 children were surveyed. 3 said, yes, we love broccoli. 8 said, no, get that disgusting tree out of here. Then, of course, as you get older, your taste buds grow, and you get 7 adults that said yes, 2 adults that said no. So we can check. So I know we got 10 here. I got 10 here. I got 11 kids. And I got 9 adults. Now, both of these categories, when added together, so 10 plus 10 is 20. Okay, so we're good there. 11 plus 9 is 20, should match the total number of people that were surveyed. Now, if we're doing a joint relative frequency, so that's our first blank right there. So if we're going joint relative, each category is going to be divided, okay, by the total number of values shown in the standard cells. So each value is going to be divided by 20. So you know how we got that 20 as our total? That 20 was our survey. So what we're going to do is we're going to divide every number by 20. So 3 is going to be divided by 20. 8 is going to be divided by 20. 7 is going to be divided by 20. And 2 is going to be divided by 20. Okay? So we're going to take all of our answers and we're going to divide them by 20, and that's going to give us a joint relative frequency. The marginal relative frequencies kind of go hand in hand with joint. So marginal, we're just going to add up, okay, each row and each column. So there's another word right there, and then we're going to add up each row and each column in our table. So if we look at it, so again, we got these numbers by dividing 3 by 20 was in this one, 8 by 20 was in this one, 7 by 20 was in this column, and then 2 by 20 was in this last one. 0.15 plus 0.40 equals 0.55. 0.35 plus 0.1 equals 0.45. 0.15 plus 0.35 equals 0.5. 0.4 plus 0.1 equals 0.5. And that total should add up to 1 each and every time, because if we're dividing by 20, then all the numbers we get, since we divided by the same, should create that same number every time. Now we can squeeze on over to find our conditional relative frequency. So our conditional relative frequency, there's another blank. We're going to divide the joint, okay, we're going to divide the joint, so the numbers inside the box, by the marginal relative, okay? So we're going to divide the numbers inside the box by the numbers outside the box. So if I go back to my example over here, if I wanted to find the joint relative or the conditional relative, I would say if I want children that said yes, so I'd go to children, so I'd be 0.55 is kind of my bottom. Okay. That's my children. It's almost like my given. Okay, and then I'm going to put 0.15 on the top. And then obviously whatever that gives us, that would be our conditional relative frequency. The category that is given, okay, often the first one mentioned. So like I just said, children who said yes. So it would be yes given they are a child. Tells you what row or column to look at. The other category, often the second word you're going to see, tells you which cell to use. So which little box inside of that pyramid. All right, now here we go. Here's another example. Okay, finding joint and marginal relative frequencies. The table shows the results of randomly selected car insurance quotes for 125 cars made by an insurance company in 1 week. Make a table of joint and relative frequencies. So we're going to take and we're going to divide every number in our boxes by 125. And I'm sorry, I'm not very good with this pen, guys. So we're going to divide everything by 125. 125, 125, 125, and 125. Okay, and then we divide it by 125 because that was our total up top. So once we do that, that will give us our joint frequencies in each box. Okay, so we can see it. There it is. It's beautiful. 15 divided by 125 is 0.12. 53 divided by 125, 0.424. Okay, so there is our joint frequencies inside the little box here. Let's see if I can get me a fancy color here to help us out, because red's not going to do too great, is it? Really, magenta. That's an exotic color. So in my magenta square, those are my joint relative frequencies. In my, let's go cyan, I don't know, some fancy blue. Sorry, I'm not a art person. Those are my marginal relative frequencies. You can kind of think of it like if you think of it when you're writing a paper, the magenta, that's my joint. That's the bulk of my paper. And then when we grade them, when English teachers grade them, they write the comments in the margins. So the margins kind of occur out here. All right. Again, let's try the same thing. Table shows number of books sold. Make a table of joint and marginal. So they didn't really help me out this time because they did not give me, okay, they didn't give me the total. They just said, oh, there it is, there's the books. So we need to add up our columns. So 28 plus 94 is 192. 52 plus 36 is 88. I am terrible with this little pen, I'm sorry. 28 plus 52 is 80. And 94 plus 36 is 130. Okay, now the sum of this column, which 80 plus 30 is 110, should equal, did I mess something up? 80 plus 130 is 210, I'm sorry. It's 210, should equal the sum of my rows. So 112 plus 88 is, oh, see, we messed up. Maybe my terrible handwriting got me confused. So this is 88. 28 plus 94 is 122. There it is. So 122 plus 88 is 210. 80 plus 130 is also 210. We're going to divide each total by 210. It's going to give us our joint. And then we're going to add each row and column to give us our relative. So you can kind of see it there again. Joint is in the middle. Think of it where they come together. Marginals on the outside, like in the margins of a page. You guys are going to give this one another try using conditional relativity. 150 voters if they plan to vote for a new library and a new arena. So here we go. 21 people said, yep, I'll vote for both of them. 57 said, nope, I'm only voting for a library. I only want some knowledge. 42 said, I don't want either. Those are my tax dollars. 30 said, yes, I'll take an arena. Who needs a library? So you can kind of see how that kind of works out. So we've got to make our joint and marginal relative frequencies. So there we go. Joint in the middle, marginal on the outside, like the margins of a page. Now, if you are given that a voter plans to vote no on the new library, what is the probability that they vote no to the new arena? So we look at our, here comes our joint and marginal table. Okay, so like I said, the given is going to be the first sentence. You are given that a voter plans to vote no to the new library. So I want all the people that said no, sir. I don't want no library. So this is kind of my column I'm looking at now. Okay. What is the probability that the voter also says no to the new arena? So now I'm looking at my column for no to the library because that's my given. Okay, there's my given. Now I'm going to pinpoint inside of that given who also says, nope, I don't need a new arena either. And we're going to take that. So there's our highlighted. Boom. Look at that. Double shade. We're going to divide the top number by our given, and it gives us approximately 58% of people said neither. No, thank you. All right. And the last on your page, the classes at a dance academy include ballet and tap, shown in the table. Okay, so we're going to make our joint frequency, obviously. So again, how many people took the class? So you'd have to get that number first. All right, so 38 plus 52 is 90. Let's see if I can make better numbers this time for you guys. 86 plus 24 is 110. It's a little better. We can at least read them. 38 plus 86 is 124. And we're starting to get a little funky again. Up, come on, 4. Cooperate. All right, and then 52 plus 24 is 76. Now we're going to make sure we got it right and didn't mess up like the last one. 90 plus 110 is 200. Yep, so we're good there. Oh my gosh, there it goes. All right, there we go. And then 124 plus 76 is also 200. So we're going to divide each box by 200. That's going to give us our joint relative frequency. 200, 200, and 200. Okay? So boom, there it is. It's like magic, math magic. Boom. Okay? So there we go. Now, you are given that the student is taking ballet. What is the probability that they are not taking tap? Okay, so here we go. We're looking at the yes, I am taking ballet. All right, so my total is going to be my denominator. So 0.62 is going to be in the bottom. Row 0.62. All right, and on top, what is the probability that they are not taking tap? So we go to tap. So here's our tap on the left. Said, no, sir, I'm not taking tap. I'm fine with ballet. And I go 0.43. And by the way, that is not the bell for your class to be dismissed. That's just the bell saying you got 15 minutes before school starts. All right? And so we get 0.69 or 69%. All right. You guys are good to go. Okay? You are going to complete your classwork worksheet.